Hi, my name is Yelena, and I live in New Jersey. Originally, I'm from Moscow, Russia. I've been here in the United States for 30 years. In the Soviet Union, everybody knows it was a communistic country. It was basically a dictatorship. And the reason we left, because we could, basically. Before 1991, before it collapsed, there was the Iron Curtain. Everybody heard of Iron Curtain. And we couldn't leave. But after it collapsed, people could leave, but there were not too many places to go to. I'm Jewish, and there was a Jewish immigration organized by Jewish groups all over the world, mostly Israel, Germany, and of course, United States. And it was easy for Jewish people to leave. At this point, it was easy for people to leave, but it was easy for Jewish people to come to live to America. And we did. We were the last discriminated group of Jews in the world. And of course, Jewish lobby of United States, they were fighting to free us. And when we got free, we could leave, and we came here. And I didn't speak any English, but since then I kind of picked it up. And we created a life for ourselves, a good life, I think. And only in this country, I think it was possible. You asked me what are the similarities between what is going on in America right now and the regime I came from, I was born into and grew up in. I was, by the way, 29 when I came here. And so I have very good memory, as you can imagine. My first daughter was born also there in Moscow. And I can tell you that my heart is broken because there are so many similarities between what's going on now in America and what I lived half of my life, where I lived for half of my life, for 29 years. And number one, probably on the top of my head, the easiest one, government is too big. So in Soviet Union, everything was government, absolutely everything. People sometimes are surprised people couldn't have a small bakery or barbershop. No, everything was government. So it was endless. And here in America, it's just getting too big. Government has too much power, and we all saw it during COVID. Closed schools, closed businesses, masks mandates, vaccine mandates, people getting fired from job, people get arrested for not wearing the mask. It's too much power for government. Another one is that laws and the Constitution are ignored. So Constitution, we had a Constitution Day in Soviet Union, but we never even crossed our minds to read the Constitution. It was like some paper somewhere, nobody paid attention to it. Very different from here in America, where it's supreme law, but it's not being followed anymore. And there was no law in the Soviet Union, really. We never expected that, if something happens and they will follow the law. No, it was just like given that they will not. And it's almost the case here. We're kind of like a little bit surprised when they follow the law and where courts still work. Another similarity is that police wasn't there to protect us. And it was so comforting for me to be here when I learned that, oh no, you can actually call the police, they will come and protect you, even risking their life. It's not the case anymore, at least not as it used to be, because we all know BLM and Antifa. Police didn't really protect people much. They now can come to your house and arrest you. Without any warrant, they can search your house, come to your house and search it. Banks can cancel your account. We all know Mike Lindell. Bank pretty much canceled his account. I also have a friend who was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, and bank asked him to close his account and remove his money. First, they asked him, where were you on January 6th? So it's happening. We have political prisoners now. So we now have domestic terrorists, and we had that in Soviet Union. It was called враги народа, enemies of the people, but it's the same kind of meaning as domestic terrorists, which now our parents and patriots are domestic terrorists. Now look at our government. It's like old people who's been there for 30, 50 years, running our country. It's like Politburo of ЦК КПСС, Politburo of Communistic Party of Soviet Union. So to me, it's very similar. And schools, parents basically have no rights over their children anymore. We totally belonged to the system in Soviet Union. It wasn't even a question. It was the norm of life. We didn't even know it can be different. It's supposed to be different here. It used to be different here, but not anymore. And people who are in this movement, fighting this situation, they basically say now, I heard them myself saying, if you want to save your children, take them out of public school. That's the only way to save your children. Freedom of speech, gone. We never had any freedom of speech in Soviet Union. Mainstream media, it's basically propaganda machine for one party. And it's just like, that's how it was in Soviet Union. Social media censorship, also part of the government. People say, no, those are private companies and they can do whatever they want. Well, I don't think they're private companies anymore. I think they are part of government now, and so they're being censored basically by government. And the last, and probably the most difficult one to talk about, is fear. People are afraid. People are afraid to speak up. People are afraid to go out on the street and protest. People, I even know people who are afraid to talk on the phone or near the phone, for that matter. And yeah, those are unfortunately the similarities I see between the regime I grew up in and what's going on now in America. So advice to younger generation how to wake up. Study the Constitution, really study it, understand what it's about, what our founding fathers left us with. Also, learn history of Marxism. And you will see that indoctrination you are going through right now, which is alive in socialism and communism and Marxism, you will see where it ends up, and it doesn't end well.